so I am just trying to get through class, just another day trying to get through class, and all of a sudden the tunnel snakes come through and they're like, "Hey man, you're gonna have to pay the toll if you want to get to class." I'm like, "Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying my best here just to get to class, and they don't stop. So I had to stab them with my knife.
You stabbed them. That
Yeah.
was your first resort was stabbing them.
Well, when you got like 4 dudes backing you up against the wall, what are you supposed to do?
I think there are better ways to handle that situation than just by stabbing them with a knife or with whatever you could have used. I don't even know if it was a knife. You never really specified.
You may enjoy being backed up against the wall by 4 guys, but I don't. So I think I'm good on that one, bro.
Well, I just don't think. I think you're really just trying to avoid having the most fun you really can out here. I think that's what it comes down to.
Okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our weekly check-in for August 22nd as we record this. What's going on, Theo?
Hectic, busy, tired. I'm tired. Tiring week of work. I've been helping my friend move in with what little free time I do have outside of work. So it's just been a bunch of stuff happening.
Not a great week.
No, definitely not. It's been very exhausting.
Right.
I'm very happy to get some extra sleep this morning. But other than that, I've been working out as always. I haven't really been able to watch much. I'm going to be honest. I haven't been able to watch much of anything. I saw Peacemaker Season 2 drop last night. I wasn't able to get started on that.
Oh, damn. All right. We'll have to discuss next week.
Yeah. I'll need to watch it later today or maybe tomorrow at some point.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. Yeah, not too much going on here. I just been hanging out. I did. So when it comes to, as my dogs are getting nervous because it's about the storm, so I can tell they're getting nervous. I finished Lightspeed Rescue as you're still going down that path. So I finished that. So while I'm waiting on you, I kind of just was watching RPM because that's one I think you said you wanted to watch, but I know it's probably not like high up on the list. So I didn't want to like just go into Time Force and like be way ahead of you and stuff like that. So I was like, I'll watch one that you're not. You know what I'm saying? And when you're done with Lightspeed, then I'll go to Time Force with you and stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah, I've been watching a little bit of RPM because that's one of those seasons that like is regarded as like a really good Power Ranger season, but like I just never really watched it because I was kind of like, I don't want to say I was ever out of the fandom, but I just like there was definitely a time where I stopped watching. At least I would still kind of like check in on it and keep tabs on it, but I just wasn't like watching every week. So that's one of the seasons I haven't really seen. So I've been watching that. I did watch episode 1 of season 2 of Peacemaker, which was great. I think you're gonna love it, dude. It does connect pretty much with Superman. So that's like really cool. Yeah, other than that, I got back into Fallout 76. Been playing that. I've been having a real good time. So you and I mean, that was like a game like 2018, I think, is when it dropped, and we played that day one, and we played it for a while. But then like that's a game that you and I both have like fallen off of, and then hop back on every once in a while.
Right.
I don't know where I got some of the stuff that I got, bro, but I have some like pretty decent stuff, and so I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of just like mowing enemies down with like these crazy weapons that I just all of a sudden have. So like, it's definitely more fun because I know like when we first started playing and stuff like that, it was definitely a struggle because we'd be running around with a damn hunting rifle trying to kill super mutants and stuff like that. But now
no caps,
with some of the stuff that I have,
barely any stim packs.
Right. Yeah, so having like some of the stuff that I just realized I had, I'm like, okay, it makes it a little more fun because it's a little easier to kill enemies and stuff. I don't know where. So I have like, as I was doing this one quest line, I found some power armor, which I didn't have power armor. So I found this power armor. I took it back, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'll use it every once in a while. And I had like 2 fusion cores on me or something like that. So I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll run around with this power armor for a little bit. Then I messed up. I had like almost 4,000 caps. And I ran into some like trader dude or whatever, and he had like 8 fusion cores on him, and I'm like, oh cool. For some reason, I like blanked out, and I thought I had like 40,000 caps or something like that. So I bought all the fusion cores for all of my caps. I had like 700 caps left. So I had like 700 caps left, but I had like 10 fusion cores. Right. The kicker is, right before we got on here, I was playing, and I went into my stash box. I already had like 10 fusion cores in the stash box I didn't even know
So
about.
now you just have an abundance of
I have
fusion
like
cores and no money.
20 fusion cores. No, okay, so I've made some money back because I've done like a good amount of quests. So I have like
Okay,
1,000
okay.
and some change. So I'm not completely broke. But I'm good on the power armor. I'm gonna be in this power armor for like a year because I've got
Good while,
20
yeah.
fusion cores. Yeah. So that's something because I never really like when I play the Fallout games. The power armor is not something I use a ton. I've obviously used it before in like Fallout 4 and stuff like that, but it's not something I used before. So this has been like a fun aspect where I like the past 2 days I've just kind of been running around in power armor and I have like this. I'm rambling, but I'm just like having a great time. I have this fucking Gatling gun, bro, that just like destroys everything. It's like 3 shots and an enemy is dead. So I'm like, I'm literally the king of the wasteland at this point, king of Appalachia, because I'm just like destroying everything. I sent you a Snapchat. I fucking killed the Jersey Devil, bro. That shit was crazy because they have like the expansions to go to Atlantic City and stuff. So I was doing this whole quest line, and yeah, boss fight, you got to kill the Jersey Devil. I'm like, holy shit. Honestly, it took a little bit, but that thing barely touched my health, bro. And like, it really wasn't that hard to kill. And then at one point, the best thing you could do, honestly, in any video game, but definitely a Fallout video game, is when you're facing something and somehow it gets stuck. Somehow it gets stuck on something. It got stuck like on this doorway for like a good minute and a half, and so I was just standing there, just like mowing this thing down for a minute and a half because it couldn't get to me. So I'm like, perfect, great. Nice. So that's been my big thing this week is I've been playing the shit out of Fallout 76. And I'm having a great time.
I did download it, so we probably can play it after we get off of this. But last time we played, it was like I think before like the pit dropped or the Pittsburgh area dropped or whatever. So I got to explore that. I got to explore Atlantic City and stuff like that. When I was playing, you and I have very different play styles. You definitely opt more for like the guns and stuff like that. I like to play more stupid fun. So I like to build like melee builds where I have like the power fist and I can just punch enemies into the fucking sky because it's just so much more fun for me to do that. And the last time I played, I went through like one of those like nuclear bases and whatnot where you can like launch the nukes and stuff like that. I barely made it through that fucking thing just by myself.
Right.
I was just launching like a shit ton of like angry mecha robots everywhere across the fucking room, just using stim packs as I go along. But that shit was so much fun. I'd love to get back into that.
I think,
especially now that season 2 is coming out for the Fallout show.
Yes, I mean that's what got me in there was watching that trailer for sure. Is what got me kind of in there. But I think too, I have like a certain perk cards that are on that will give me caps and ammo for whatever gun I'm using on corpse, and that also has like changed the game.
Yeah.
Because I have for my Gatling gun, it's like 5mm rounds or something like that. And I went from like when I first started, I had like 600. I have like 4,000 rounds of just because I just pick up on everybody I kill. I just pick stuff up. So and I did just get almost like it's like this like atomic gun or something like that. It looks kind of like the alien gun in a way. It looks like some plasma alien gun, but not like the laser rifles.
Right.
This thing does crazy damage, but I have no ammo for it. So I'm trying to get to a point where I can just like get a little bit of ammo for it. I need to go to the White Springs or something, see if I can buy some ammo for it, and just kind of take it on a quest with me and pick up ammo for it, so then I can get to like a good amount. Because I'll just use that weapon, bro. That thing is like a 2-shotter for sure for like everything. So yeah. So yeah, that's it. Well, that way I have to play at some point today because I've been having a great time.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Let's dive into our song of the week. What's your song of the week there, Theo?
My song of the week is going to be "Might You" by Yuki Hayashi, which is a very, very popular song that's been going around on a lot of My Hero edits from one of the movies. The final season drops in like a month, and I am super excited for it. I've been seeing a lot of people excited for it on like the TikTok edit side of things. There's been a lot of edits coming out, and it's just been making me super, super excited. And this is like the song they've been using for all of it. And I'm just like, we're in the fucking... This is like the end game for the My Hero universe here. So it's very exciting stuff. I can't wait to see what they do with it. I got to catch up on My Hero Vigilantes because I have not been watching that in a while. So I got to catch up on that before the new season drops.
Right. Speaking of, though, before I get into my song, there is a fucking TikTok edit renaissance, bro. There's always been TikTok edits, but there's something going on with that Creed edit, and it has just inspired everybody to just lock in on their favorite fandom and just like go crazy. I've seen so many good Power Rangers ones, especially because of the Fortnite stuff and whatnot and how popular Power Rangers currently is.
I've
Seen
seen a
so
lot
many.
of Superman ones.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
telling you, if you're into something, there's a good edit for it on TikTok
Lots of
somewhere for
lots
sure.
of lots of wrestling ones too. I've seen over the
Yep.
past couple of
Yep.
days. So yeah, there's a crazy TikTok
Renaissance was honestly a great word to describe what's going
Yeah.
on right now, because that's exactly what this is.
Well, because there's always TikTok edits and there's always going to be TikTok
Right.
edits, but yeah, that one Creed edit just told everybody to lock the fuck in, and now everybody's just going crazy, dropping the hardest
crazy.
ones. Yeah.
And it's awesome. I love to see it. There's so many good edits out there now.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
Same. All right, so my song of the week is going to be "New Lows" by the Wonder Years, which is Becky Lynch's new theme song that just dropped. I think
Okay.
that theme song, we heard it at SummerSlam. We both were like, "Oh, all right, we're feeling it." Now that I've listened to it, it's a banger, bro. It's up there. It's definitely a really good wrestling theme song. And then once you hear the lyrics, Becky definitely had an input on the lyrics because the lyrics kind of, like there was one that stuck out to me where she was like, or where he's singing and he says something about staring down a bloody broken nose, and I'm like, well, that's clearly when Nia Jax broke her nose. So I'm like, okay, it's all connected to her. So I'm like, yeah, this is fire. This is fire. So.
Yeah.
That's my song of the week, New Lows by the Wonder Years, Becky Lynch's new theme song. But yeah, all right. Let's dive in to some news and a little bit of speculation. I didn't even put this in the news thing, but we did get a trailer for Fallout Season 2, which looks great. New Vegas is my favorite Fallout game, so, and I think no, it's not yours. Yours is Fallout 3.
Yeah.
So New Vegas is
It's my two.
right. New Vegas is my favorite Fallout game, so seeing all the landmarks, seeing the strip, seeing everything that, you know, because I do think they did confirm that the show takes place like 10 years or something after the events of New Vegas and whatnot. So still seeing the strip and whatnot. Seeing all the landmarks and whatnot looks great. There was one like ghoul that was getting shot that was like dressed in King's attire. So I'm like, okay, this is right up my alley. This is exactly. So it got me super excited. They showed the Deathclaw that we're all terrified of.
Yep.
They showed the Deathclaw.
Deathclaw Valley coming in.
Right. We all knew it was happening. For those that don't know, I've told Theo the story 1,000 times. When I played New Vegas the first time, this was the first Fallout game I even touched. So I had no clue about anything. And I was walking down the road, and the construction worker goes, whoa, buddy, stop. You don't want to go down here. This is Deathclaw Canyon. Do not want to go down here. My dumbass was like, I don't know what Deathclaw is, but fuck it. Let's ball. And I walked straight through Deathclaw Canyon. And that was like within the first hour of me playing a Fallout game. I got my first Deathclaw jump scare where I just went, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? And it just instantly killed me. So yeah. But I will say, there was one point too where I went and I kind of beat the game or whatever, and so I was high level. I went back. I murdered them all. And that's still one of my favorite gaming achievements. That's like on the same level of us or me playing Fallout or Far Cry 3 that one Christmas and like taking over that legendary military base like 30 minutes into the game, if you remember that. That was wild. Those are like neck and neck for like gaming achievements, because even though I was a higher level, I still was like new to this and had no clue, and I slaughtered every Deathclaw in that damn canyon, bro. It was crazy. So yeah. Fallout Season 2 trailer, I'm super excited. I can't wait. All the landmarks are there. Everything is there. And they cooked with Season 1, so I'm just expecting this to be even better. So, yeah.
I'm the exact same way. I think, honestly, that Deathclaw Canyon, I think that just has to be a core moment for every Fallout player. I think that's just like, that's something you have to do in your first playthrough. Because that game was also like my first Fallout game, I'm pretty sure, probably because it was just like, you were playing it, so I was like, yeah, okay, I'll give this a try at the same time. And even though I do like 3 more, I still love New Vegas too, because it just has such a great world to it. And so much fun, like landmarks and shit, that I'm very happy to see come back in the show. And the Fallout show was like my favorite show from last year, so I'm expecting them to cook very well with this one as well. I'm very excited to see the pre-war New Vegas, because we did see a little bit of that, and I really want to see this whole interaction with how Mr. House is going to work, with Walton Goggins' character and everything like that, and how this is going to lead to like the bombings and stuff like that. There's so much interesting like lore to unpack with this show, and I think they're really going to build on that in the second season. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, so am I. Yeah, it looks great. It looks great. We do have Peacemaker Season 2, which I guess we'll talk more about next week, because Theo has not been able to watch it, but I did watch it. It's great, bro. You're going to love it. It is only obviously episode 1, but It's great. It ties directly into Superman. It also the idea of how are they gonna figure out how this is in the DCU when it was in the DCEU within 30 seconds, bro. They instantly connect it and change it and do all, and it's like so good. You're gonna be dying laughing, bro. It's great. It's so good. John Cena at his best, of course, bro. Like I know James Gunn said something like it's wild to see the evolution of John Cena's acting from Peacemaker season 1 to season 2, and it is just one episode, but yeah, it's there, bro. Like he's always been good, but he's just becoming a better and better actor with every role he takes. And I think Peacemaker is probably his best role, bro. He's just so good and so natural as douchey Captain America-esque Peacemaker is just it's so good. Right. So yeah, we will talk more about that next week, but it does cook. The Hollywood Reporter though, earlier this week did report that Ryan Reynolds will be back as Deadpool in Avengers Doomsday. There was no other info that was really given on that, but I still want to talk about it because that is big, and it isn't just something that some random person said. That's coming from one of the big trades, so normally when that happens, I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty much confirmed. So that'll be interesting to see how Deadpool fits into Avengers Doomsday. I'm interested. I mean, they kind of had to deal with this Endgame, but also not, because like when it came to Endgame, half the roster was like gone, you know?
Right.
And they brought in like the other half of the roster that wasn't in Infinity War, like Clint and Ant-Man and Wasp and da-da-da-da-da. With this, bro, there's nobody that's gone. So I'm like, how are they going to balance all of these moving parts and all these characters, bro? Because it is definitely
it's
a lot.
So many characters, so many universes. It's really going to be like so many fucking people in this movie. I was joking with my coworker the other day. I'm like, every character is going to get like a maximum of 2 minutes screen time because there are just so many fucking people in this movie.
Right. I remember seeing a report a few weeks ago that America Chavez is supposed to be in the movie, but she has like a very small role. Like she's supposed to help Wong with like one thing, and that's her whole role in the movie. And I saw people upset about that. And I like her character, so I would like for her to be in there. But I'm also like, but guys, what do we expect? Like America Chavez cannot be a big character in this movie with Thor and the Fantastic Four and Sam and, you know what I'm saying, the Thunderbolts. I'm like, It kind of makes sense that she's going to only have a small role, and maybe she comes back in a bigger role in Secret Wars. But, yeah, I'm just like, it's going to be insane to see how they balance all these characters, because it is a lot of characters for sure.
Yes.
Especially now with Deadpool. And with Deadpool, I feel like that almost kind of confirms Wolverine, because they're together. So it's like, how are we handling all these characters? It's gonna be so wild. But I am super excited, like everybody else. In other news, though, we're getting a new Lego Batman game. Can't wait.
Yes,
it seems to be all surrounding the Cape Crusaders. What is it? Live action movie escapades, I believe.
It's a lot of live action escapades, but I've also seen a bunch of like, because there have been people that have been like reporting on like the gameplay and like the interviews that have been coming out from the game recently. There's also a bunch of stuff just like from some of the animated series as well.
Right.
And even some of the comic storylines. So there's just so much from Batman that's going to be in this game.
Yeah, I believe the opening, they already released like the opening or whatever, and it's literally just the scene from Under the Red Hood where Joker falls into the vat of acid. So
right, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so it seems like it primarily focuses on like the main movies, but there's also going to be different parts and pieces of other Batman shows and things like that. So it looks great, bro. Everybody's saying this is like the next Arkham game, and it's hilarious because it literally is the next Arkham game. Like
the
gameplay,
it's the true Arkham successor that we've been waiting for 10 years now at this point.
Right. The gameplay, I saw the Batmobile mechanics, and it was like so smooth compared to normal Lego vehicle mechanics that are never super smooth. So I'm like, yeah, this funny enough is the, like you said, the successor to the Arkham series for sure. I can't wait. It looks great. We're grown men. I'm almost 30 years old, and I'm super excited for a Lego Batman video game. But hey, man, you love what you love.
Lego Batman 1 was one of the first ever video games that I got to play on like the Xbox 360 back in like 2008. So it's just my childhood self being like, look at this. And I'm like, I fucking know. I'm looking at it. It looks awesome. I can't wait to play it.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I remember me and Grace played the shit out of the first and second Lego Batman when we were kids. Yeah, I think that has something to do with too, the childhood nostalgia, because I'm not going to lie, I'm not really an Indiana Jones fan, but if they came out with a new Lego Indiana Jones game, I'd probably also be a little excited, because the Lego Star Wars games, the indie games, and the Batman game were like
that's the holy trinity of Lego games
right
there.
when we were younger. So yeah, it definitely has something to do with it. But this game looks incredible. It looks Skywalker Saga or whatever was a really great Lego game. I love that game. This looks to be even better than that as I look at the gameplay and stuff like that. So
It's so
I'm
different
excited.
too from what Lego is used to doing. So I think
Right.
that's also a very exciting that they're kind of straying from their usual formula to try new and exciting things.
Right. Yeah, I saw one of the devs talking about there's like over 100 suits to collect in the game just for Batman. So yeah, it's gonna be great. I know it's coming out next year, but I did not see a release date. Did you see an actual release date for it?
I think it might be later in the year. I'm assuming it's probably going to be a fall title. I can look it up right now and see.
Maybe. I mean, you also probably want to stay away from that GTA 6 vortex that's happening like towards the middle of the year. So
Right. I don't
'Cause-
think there's an official release date just yet.
they're monitoring. They're making sure that Rockstar doesn't delay GTA 6 again before they give
Right.
a release date. Because I'm sure that's the last thing you want to do is release your game during the GTA 6 release. So
Right, exactly.
it's like when Taylor Swift drops, nobody else drops. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, well, I ain't getting streamed. Right, I ain't getting streamed. If
Right.
Taylor Swift's out there. So same thing. Nobody's playing Lego Batman. As excited as we are, it's gonna be hard to find time to play that once GTA 6 is out for sure.
Right.
All right. Other news though, Naomi, our goat, our fearless leader, Naomi, has announced that she is pregnant on Raw this past Monday. Well, actually, technically, Jimmy Uso announced that she was pregnant for her.
Yes.
But yes, they both are expecting a baby. Super happy for them. We don't know them, but as lifelong fans of them, basically, well, I don't want to say lifelong, but I've been fans of them for years. They've been around since 2009, 10, something like that.
Yeah.
Even before that, in FCW and whatnot. So, yeah, super excited for them. I know Naomi has said that she's had struggles with trying to get pregnant over the years and whatnot that, kind of wasn't happening. So the fact that it's happening is really cool. I pray that she has a healthy, pregnancy as well, because obviously, again, with the issues, it is a little cautious, I guess you could say. Not to be throwing puns in here, but like it is a little,
That's a crazy pun to be thrown.
they may need to proceed with caution a little bit, because it is. And she's also. I listened or watched the Stephanie McMahon podcast they did. She did say she's older, so that adds to it. It makes it another aspect of a high risk pregnancy is that she's older and whatnot. So we're praying that everything goes smoothly and that they have their beautiful baby boy or girl. And then after that we get our maniacal queen back on our screens,
Yes.
and she gets her world heavyweight championship back, because this is the second time she's had to vacate a championship. So she needs to. I mean, when she did it the first time, she came back and won the title at WrestleMania, SmackDown Women's title. So let's run that back.
Yeah,
And let's
run it back.
get her that world
Run it
heavyweight
again.
championship when she comes back. But nonetheless, yes, congratulations to the both of them.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very excited for the both of them. Very happy for the both of them. Obviously, I will miss having Naomi on TV because I think she's really in like the height of her career. Pretty much, she's been great as a world champion. Has had such an entertaining and great character. So obviously, I will miss that. But obviously, this is just way too big of a moment. So obviously, I'm very happy for the both of them.
Right.
I can't wait to see her come back. That's going to be a very big moment of 2026 for sure. And yeah, good on them.
I
Very
did
happy,
see-
very excited.
I did see a meme that said, "Why couldn't Jimmy get pregnant? Because he ain't doing shit." And that shit had me dying. That shit had me dead, bro.
Jimmy's gonna be stuck on the mid card all throughout this pregnancy as one of the top women in the entire business.
Right.
He's out of action.
It's out. Right. Should have just got him pregnant instead.
Come on, Naomi, what are you doing? Impregnate this man.
Right. All right. Some more WWE news, though. It seems that they have confirmed September 20th in Indianapolis. We are getting WrestlePalooza. That's how I hear it in my head. So that's how I'm going to say it. WrestlePalooza.
It's
So-
very Banjo Kazooie esque, very 90s
Right.
for sure.
Right. So yeah, we're getting that. Don't know what's going on. My guess is that we're going to get John Cena versus Brock Lesnar at this show. But nothing is confirmed yet. They haven't set anything up for it. The name is so stupid. I know it's an old ECW name, but God, what a stupid name. I hate it. But yeah,
I've seen the graphic for it, and it's that name, but with like the saw, and I'm like, why is there a fucking saw there? What is this?
Right.
What is the theming for this show even?
Yeah, I don't know. So we'll have to keep tabs on that, see what's going to happen with that. But yeah, I think that's the last bit of news. Unless you have anything else you want to add.
No, I think I should be. That should be it. Shit,
All right.
was there something I wanted to remember? I can't remember. I feel like there was. I can't remember now. If I remember.
The original Zod. Oh my gosh, what's his name?
Yes. Oh my God. Hold on a second. Let me look it up. I'm
All right.
completely blanking on it.
We had
But,
another unfortunate passing out here. As I clearly care so much because I remember his name. Terrence Stamp. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the original Zod in the first Superman movie. Yeah, rest in peace to him. Obviously, he helped mold the character a little bit there, so that's pretty iconic. So, yeah.
Yeah, he really brought the character to life on the screen, especially in the second movie where he was the main antagonist. He did a very good job, so he's gonna be missed for sure. Definitely a blow.
Our discussion though is gonna be if there was one WWE PLE that you could bring back that is not on the current kind of roster of WWE PLEs, what would you bring back, Theo?
Ooh. I feel like we both kind of have the same answer because it's a very good answer.
Okay.
Because it's a very fun show. I feel like it's got to be Tribute to the Troops in a very legitimate pay-per-view sense.
Right.
I feel like it's so much fun. It's such a fun way to like celebrate like the servicemen in our military and stuff like that. And there's always such fun, creative matches that you don't really get to see anywhere else on the show. Because it's
when they do it right.
Mixed match hodgepodge. When they do it right, yes, exactly.
Because the last 10 years of Tribute to the Troops kind of was iffy. So.
Well, it's kind of just been like, not even just like it's just been like a SmackDown episode where they barely even acknowledge it, and they'll have like some squad of troops just in the crowd or something like that. I miss when they would actually go out to military bases and stuff like that during like Christmas time and celebrate with them.
Yes, 100%. The OG Tribute to the Troops is great, but there was I think it was like 17, 18, 19, somewhere around there, those 3 years, they did kind of bring it back in that original sense where they did go to certain Navy bases and things like that. So there was like 3 years there, kind of more recently, where they did do it right, and it looks great. My thing, as wild as it sounds, Tribute to the Troops has to be outside, bro. That's my thing.
Yes,
that's absolutely the vibe. That's the vibe. So
there's gotta be outside. There's gotta be like the tanks and stuff like that. The Humvees.
Right.
There's gotta be guys looking over the ring with guns pointed at the ring.
Right. Yeah. So I agree. That's actually not my pick, although that I 100% agree because that was always like one of my favorite shows of the year, and it also helps from a fan perspective just get you more into the Christmas spirit because the troops are all wearing Christmas hats. Or, when it was the Divas would be dressed up as, like, sexy Santas or whatever. Like, they always have, like, multiple celebrities wishing the troops a happy holidays. So it definitely helps you as a fan get into the Christmas spirit as well.
It would also be a great way to incorporate a lot of these, like, celebrity cameos that they have nowadays to, like, bring them in and have them do, like, a small little clip and be like, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from WWE or whatever the fuck.
Right. Or have them be there since they do that on a Raw anyways, send them to Tribute to the Troops so they can kind of do something good while they're attending this wrestling show. So, yeah, Tribute to the Troops needs to come back in a honestly even bigger form than it was. Like you said, it should be a legitimate pay-per-view where they do, like, legitimate kind of matches. Because it was never a legitimate matches. It was like, here's our two top baby faces and our two top heels, from Raw and SmackDown in a tag match in the main event. Like, things like that. Very house show-esque, but I didn't mind it because I just love the vibe of it. But I would love for it to come back in a true pay-per-view sense of where it's like, hey, here's Cody Rhodes versus Rusev for the WWE title in the main event, and you got Macaulay Culkin in the crowd with a Santa hat on and things like that. That would be really, really cool. So yeah, I agree with that. But that is not my pick, even though in reality it should be. It should be. My pick though is going to be Cyber Sunday because I think, they could change the name because they don't really run on Sundays unless it's like WrestleMania or SummerSlam. So it could be Cyber Saturday or something like that. But I think, and I've thought this for years, that was such a good concept when I was a kid. I loved that concept. And it was another one of my favorite shows because of the unpredictability and the fan interest, whether it was real or not, because I feel like it was, and I feel like they rigged it or whatever, right? To just, they photoshopped whatever to do whatever they want to do or whatever. I think the first year they did it was real, because I think I've seen, like, people talk about it. But after that, I think they kind of kayfabed it a little bit. But it was such a cool idea to bring in. Hey, go to WWE.com and pick who you want to face Jeff Hardy for the IC title tonight. Such a cool idea, and social media is so prevalent today more than ever. So why are we not doing something like that? Where what I'm saying? Like, not only is social media prevalent, WWE is all about social media. Honestly, that's all they really care about is social media because they want the interactions and the shares and the posts and the stories and all that stuff. So why would you not have a show centered around social media and letting the fans decide who's going to face Solo Sikoa for the U.S. title or who's going to team with Cody Rhodes to take on whoever it is. Like that seems like such a great idea for where we're at in the world with how big TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and all that is. Why are we not having a show centered around that? So that would be my pick for sure, because I think a current day Cyber Saturday, we'll say, would be like huge and definitely would probably be like one of the bigger shows every year because, again, people would love the fact that they're involved directly with picking whoever's going to face the IC champion or whatever it is. I think would be a great idea to bring back.
Yeah, that's actually a great pick. I completely forgot about Cyber Sunday, to be honest with you. Well, it's like, because I don't think it was really such a thing, or it was barely a thing by the time I was getting into wrestling, but by the time I was really getting into wrestling, it was already gone pretty much, so I didn't really know too much about it, but like, that's a very good pick, especially because of like how connected they are with like X and stuff like that, with their deal with like fucking Speed and whatnot. Right. I feel like they could easily find a way to incorporate that into an actual pay-per-view.
100%, I agree. And the set, so at first it was Taboo Tuesday, and then they switched it to Cyber Sunday. And so like Taboo Tuesday would be cool because like it would have a normal set, but like the floor in front of the stage would be like a keyboard, which was pretty cool. But then Cyber Sunday, I mean, you probably saw it in like the 2K games. They had like a set that was like a legitimate like BlackBerry phone with a
the
screen
phone.
Was the Titan screen.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
that was dope.
Not that they would do that because they only care about putting a dugout as the stage at this point. But if they did care, I could see easily like a flipped iPad or a flipped phone or something like that with a giant screen would be a really cool idea for like a stage. So yeah, that's gonna be my pick is Cyber Sunday. I think it's way too prevalent now to like kind of not have that as a thing, and it hasn't been a thing since like 2008 or 2009. So like they definitely need to bring it back for sure.
Right.
But yeah, all right. That I think that's our.
What other shows are there that haven't come back? Because they keep bringing back shows. I don't know what's left.
That is true. Capital Punishment. They did that 1 year, and that was it.
That's true.
I'm not sure if they'd want to bring that back. Well, actually, they probably would love to bring that back. I'm not sure the fans would love to bring that back with our current sitting president. Right. But I'm sure Triple H would have a great time with that idea. And honestly, if this UFC show that's supposed to take place at the White House goes like crazy, I could easily see WWE being the next ones to do a show in front of the White House, and they could technically bring back Capital Punishment for that. So that could be an idea. Trying to think. What else is there? Bragging rights would be cool, especially if they're just going to continue to make Survivor Series war games and it's not a brand versus brand thing anymore. I feel like bringing bragging rights back to be a brand versus to basically take bragging rights back and make that the Survivor Series annual tag match.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
would be cool.
That'd be a great idea.
Because I always did love that, not necessarily for bragging rights, but for Survivor Series, that was always like the highlight was seeing Raw and SmackDown, or Raw and SmackDown and ECW, or that 1 year they did Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Seeing these brands collide, and like when NXT did that invasion, dude, and Leo Rush was like sitting on the Jeep and they were like coming into the arena, that was so cool. And like Natalia accidentally touched Zack Ryder's dick, like it was a great time. It was a great time.
Dude, that time where they were setting up for the one with Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, and it was just like that whole episode where all the brands just like invaded on SmackDown, and there was like a 50-man fight by the ring and whatnot. That shit was amazing. Yeah,
the even like back in the day though, Raw and SmackDown, and I think it was SmackDown invading Raw, and they did also have like Batista got like chokeslammed by Big Show and Kane on like a car window, and like he showed up with like bandages all over him the next week or something like that. Like, just the idea that they made it feel like a legitimate brand war, that these guys were fighting
Right.
in the parking lot and in the ring and all that stuff. Definitely would love to bring that back, but put it towards bragging rights for sure. I think that'd be really, really cool.
Especially with how some of the rivalries work, like how like in some cases they would have to put like their own rivalries aside to go and fight the other brand. But even
Right.
still, like those rivalries would still affect how they perform in the match and stuff like that. I think there's so many cool things you could really work with in that retrospect.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to think what else there could be. They brought Bad Blood back, which was cool, which seems to be
They
a
did.
recurring PLE. So that's cool.
I think they may have done it in AEW already, but I would love to see like a Bash at the Beach that actually has like that beach setup sort of thing.
Yeah,
I think that would be
since
kind of sick to see.
SummerSlam abandoned it,
Yeah.
since they got rid of it. I mean, I feel like
no more sunshine, no more beaches, just
Uh,
hard pavement.
I do feel like NXT kind of does that when they do spring break-in. They do kind of give I think they put some sand on the floor of the PC and some tiki torches and stuff. So that's
Right.
that's at least something. So it's not completely gone. But yeah, I think there was one year that they did. I wouldn't want to bring this pay-per-view back, but they did a Breaking Point, which was like something about. I don't think every match was a submission match, but like the main event was a submission match or something like that. I wouldn't want to bring that back, but I do think bringing the submission match back and calling it a Breaking Point match would be a really cool idea, especially for NXT. It feels very NXT
That'd be
coded.
cool. For sure.
Yeah, I think
They
that'd be
don't
like
have
it.
submission matches much anymore, which kind of sucks.
Right. Especially when you have someone like Gunther, whose whole thing is the rear naked choke
Yes.
and things like that. So I definitely think bringing a submission match back and calling it the Breaking Point match would be like a really cool idea.
Dude, him and Gable could make a 5-star out of that whole
Yeah.
entire match type for sure.
For sure, definitely. Honestly, even like him and Sami Zayn could have a banger for sure out of a Breaking Point match. I think it would be great. So yeah, that'd be cool. There was one year they did show called Fatal 4-Way or something like that. It was like 2010 or something like that. That's an interesting concept where like every match was just like a Fatal 4-Way match or something like that. So that's an interesting concept.
I love that idea because I love Fatal 4-Way matches. I'd love to see something
Yeah.
like that.
I think it'd be great. Yeah, other than that, I don't know. TNA had, I don't know if they do it anymore, but they did have for years a pay-per-view called Lockdown, where it was literally where every match took place inside of a cage. I think that could be an interesting concept if maybe NXT adapted that or something like that, because I don't see main roster adapting that, but if NXT maybe took it and did NXT Lockdown, I think that'd be an interesting concept. I don't think every match needs to be in a cage because it kind of diminishes the cage, but maybe if you do 2 matches in the cage, like your last 2 matches of the night are these big cage matches, that could be a really cool concept. But yeah, other than that, I'm not sure. I think I've run the gambit on my ideas of PLEs to bring it back.
I can't really think of anything else.
Yeah, but Tribute to the
Russell
Troops
Palooza
definitely needs to come
honestly was
back.
a weird one to bring that.
Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was. But yeah, Tribute to the Troops definitely needs to come back because
Yep.
it's widely missed, at least between you and I. But I'm sure there's other people that also
Widely
miss
missed
it.
amongst the OTS community.
Right. And Cyber Sunday also needs to come back just because it's way too relevant within today's world to kind of not be a thing. So, and Triple H, if you're listening to this, and if I find out that next month y'all announce Cyber Sunday is coming back or something like that, you owe me a job. So, yeah. But with that, I think that's the end of our episode there. Unless you have anything else you wanna add in there, Mr. Theo.
No, I don't think so. I think that should be it. I can't think
All
of
right.
much else in terms of like pay-per-views to bring back. I think that's it.
All right, so we appreciate y'all. There is, unfortunately, no episode this week, no main episode. Scheduling conflicts, we were not able to both watch Superman Returns, so we're gonna have to get back to that. I don't think that's gonna be our review for next month either, though, because we're supposed to do the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, and I think that's gonna be fun, especially with the Power Rangers kicks. So we will get to Superman Returns at some point in the future. I'm just not 100% sure when. But tomorrow Theo is coming over to film our next 4 episodes, along with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie review, which I think is going to be a great time because it is very nostalgic for me, but it is very campy and whatnot. So I'm excited to see what you're gonna think of it because it's definitely over the top for sure. Um, it does have one of my favorite opening intros to any movie ever, though. I think you'll enjoy it. It's pretty good. So yeah, we will see y'all next week for another weekly check-in and for our next set of episodes for September.